Good afternoon and welcome to the regular meeting of the City of Glendale's Commission on the Status of Women. Before we take roll, I'd like to request that we close this meeting in memory of Verge Maridosian, a commissioner of the Design Review Board, but most importantly, the brother of Vice Chair Kajoyan. Prior to talking about Verge, unfortunately, there is another lady that passed away this week who was very important to all of us. And her name is Joyce Catherine Morrissey. And the way her obituary is written is rather moving. She left this world to promote women's rights and equality in the next one. And when I read that, I thought, oh, boy, anyone up there is going to have a lot of trouble with Joyce. She'll take care of it. She'll take care of us all. She was active and vocal in many organizations. Past state president and founder fellow of the International Federation of Business and Professional Women. Past board member and lifetime member of the Los Angeles Girl Scouts Council. Past board member of the Downtown Women's Center. She attended the 4th International Women's Conference in Beijing, and in 1989 was honored as Woman of the Year by the Commission on the Status of Women, Los Angeles County. She was a member of the UNA on the board of the Friends of the Glendale Public Library, and that's how I knew her very well, and the first woman president of the board at First Congregational Church in Los Angeles. A longtime insurance broker with Cass and Johansson, she was proud of being the oldest licensed female insurance broker in California, spanning a career of over 50 years, and she was very, very good at it. Joyce is survived by her brother, John Morrissey, the love of her life, Carlos, predeceased her, as did her brother James and sister Mary Lou. A memorial service will be held on December 3rd, 2017, and I don't think that's right. It would probably be 2016 at 11 a.m. at Chateau Chapel of First Congregational Church, 540 South Commonwealth, Los Angeles. In lieu of flowers, Joyce would appreciate a donation to your favorite charity supporting women's issues. Rest in peace, Joyce. Longtime resident and businessman and community leader, Verge was born in Iraq and immigrated to Glendale in 1974. Glendale High School and Glendale Community College graduate, Verge obtained a bachelor's in architecture from Southern California Institute of Architecture and went on to helm local engineering firm Meridian and Associates Incorporated. He was also heavily involved in the community, serving on the City of Glendale's Historic Preservation Commission from 2005 to 2011, and Building and Fire Board of Appeals from 2011 to 2013. He additionally occupied the role of treasurer for the Glendale Historical Society and had been residing on the Design Review Board since 2013. He is survived by his wife Gina and son Austin, as well as 3 sisters, Seda, Nar, and Silva, as well as 2 brothers. Rest in peace, and we will close the meeting in memory of Verge and in the memory of Joyce. Roll call, please.
Chair Burns.
Present.
Vice Chair Kajoyan.
Present.
Commissioner Lambalot.
Present.
Commissioner Magrin.
Present.
Commissioner Perrian.
Present.
Ex officio Petrosian.
Present.
Ex officio Rush.
Present.
Thank you, Ms. Powers. Next item, please.
At 1A is a flag salute led by Chair Burns.
Would you stand, please? Face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ms. Powers, could we have the report regarding the posting of the agenda?
Sure. At 1B, the agenda for the November 14, 2016 meeting was posted on the bulletin board outside of City Hall on November 10, 2016. And the next item under 2, introductions and presentations. At A is the introduction of our new student ex officios, Lena Petrosian and Vivica Rush. And as you recall, at the last meeting of the commission, Commissioners Magrin and Lambalot served on the selection committee, along with former ex officio Serrano, and selected the 2 new students who are sitting with you up on the dais today. And I will let each of them give a brief introduction of themselves. I want to start with ex officio Petrosian.
Hello everyone, my name is Lena Petrosian and I'm a senior at Clark Magnet High School. I'm currently the Associate Student Body President at Clark and I practice in a lot of local politics. For example, I am a part of the Glendale Unified School District's Student Advisory Council and also a student ambassador right here in these council chambers. So I'm really looking forward to this experience with the Commission on the Status of Women. It's truly an honor and I really like to thank you for this opportunity.
Hello, Commission. My name is Vivica Rush, and I'm a senior at Herbert Hoover High School. I would first of all like to thank you all, especially the ad hoc commission that selected me, but the entire commission for selecting me as your new student ex officio member. I am passionate about women's issues, as evident by my mentoring group at Herbert Hoover High School, where I mentor freshman girls, and I hope that one of you would be able to speak there and tell them all about this commission. In addition to that, I'm active in politics, just as my fellow student commissioner is. I am a student ambassador here on Glendale, so you'll see me here on Tuesdays at the meetings at Weekly. And in addition to that, I promise you that I will be dedicated to this commission, and I will do everything on a local level and hopefully on a federal level to promote equality in Glendale and throughout the entire country. Just thank you so much for this, and I really appreciate it.
Well, we want to welcome both of you. May I have the next item on the agenda, please?
Sure. At B is a presentation by Salvation Army Glendale Corps, and here on behalf of Salvation Army is Lieutenant Jessica Sneed.
Welcome.
Men internationally since 1865, and I'm proud to stand in that path of trailblazing women. Just a few things I'd like to share with you today about our current work in the city. First is in regards to our after-school program, The Zone, which continues to grow thanks to support from the city of Glendale. Our enrollment right now is over 75 kids, and we see between 40 and 50 kids a day from 5 local elementary schools. I have stories of a couple of the girls that are active in our group in your brochure. One of our favorite things at The Zone is giving girls a place to find their voice. So there's a story on the back of a little girl named Lily, who for the first year and a half she was with us would not speak, literally would not speak. And due to the efforts of our staff and the empathy that her older sister provided, she's found her voice and is fluent in English as well as Spanish now and reading above grade level. And she's over at Edison Elementary, a fantastic school. I was looking at some of our statistics in regards to the families that we serve here locally, and it's interesting to me that 60% of the families that we serve during the holidays and during the year at our food pantry are single moms. So 60% of the families that we serve on a regular basis are single moms. In the past 3 months, 20% of our families have been new families that we've never served before, showing us an increased need and an increase of families struggling to maintain stability in housing and food. Interestingly enough, in the current political scheme is that 15% of our families are refugee families that we're serving right now, which I see Commissioner Magra nodding her head. I know this isn't going to be news to you. So the zone provides services for kids in grades 1 through 8. We recently just hired a full-time director who has her master's degree in education and is a former teacher in the LA Unified District. And we're excited to see the educational aspects of our program continue to grow to meet the needs of the students that we serve. You'll see in your brochure some of the new electives that we are doing at our after-school program. We're excited about DIY and STEM classes. This year we were able to purchase 20 new Chromebooks for our after-school program with a CDBG grant, and it's the same Chromebooks our kids are using actually at Glendale schools, so it's really easy for them to come over to their after-school program at the Salvation Army and finish their homework. They don't have to learn how to use a new device, so that's really exciting. Additionally, we've replaced almost all the books in our library in the past 3 years, so we have a completely new library that meets California state standards for our kids in English, Spanish, and Armenian books. So we're excited to be offering that to our students as well. Some of our other programs specifically that serve women, one is the Salvation Army Nancy Painter Home, which is a transitional living program for single moms with kids. That program runs at capacity nearly all year. It serves 4 moms at a time for a time period of 12 to 24 months. In 2013, we lost federal funding for that due to transition of HUD away from transitional housing, and the Salvation Army has continued to operate that program because of our partnership in the community. Those women receive case management, free legal aid, job help, child care, and a home-like environment where they can transition from chronic homelessness. That program runs just south of the 134 here in Glendale. Finally, another item that you might see before you is an Adopt a Family flyer. Specifically during the holiday season, the Salvation Army makes it part of our mission to be bringing the holiday spirit to families that are living in poverty. Each year we serve over 1,200 kids through our Adopt a Family and Toy and Joy program, and those are all local families that live in Glendale and La Crescenta. This year we hope to increase the number of adopted families from about 60 to 100. That's about 10% of the families we serve. We serve over 750 families. And like I said earlier, the majority of those families are single moms working to make ends meet. There's also an invitation for our annual fundraiser, the Kettle Kickoff Program, which does solely benefit programs here in the city of Glendale. 100% of what's raised here in Glendale stays in Glendale, and 85 cents on the dollar goes straight back out into the community locally. And we're really proud of that fact. Are there any questions that I might be able to answer?
Commissioners?
No.
I have a comment. L'Oreal funds you.
Yes. Ladies of L'Oreal raises between $10,000 and $20,000 specifically for the after-school program every year, and through an annual fashion show event. And it's because of partners like them that we're able to keep high-quality programs running. Yes.
And how much money came from the CDBG this year?
CDBG last year was $13,000. That amount went up from 2014, so our 2015, so our amount went up by $5,000, and then we received an additional around $8,000 of additionally released funds at the end of the year, and that's where the laptop purchase and cart came from, was specifically from CDBG funds.
You also mentioned the library, and we have a lady coming up from the Friends of the Library. Do we have any ties with the Friends of the Library?
I don't know that we do at this point, but we're always looking to build new collaborative relationships. So,
well, there she is.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
May we have the next report, please?
At 3 is oral comment. Discussion is limited to items not a part of this agenda. Each speaker is allowed 5 minutes. The commission may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or discussion, and staff may refer the matter to the proper department for investigation and report.
We do have one speaker, Elise Kalfayan.
Hello, Madam Chair and commissioners and new student ex officio commissioners as well. I'm Elise Kalfayan. I'm president of the Friends of the Glendale Public Library, and I'm here to give you an update on our activities. Our all-volunteer organization promotes memberships and sells donated books to raise funds for library programs such as the Children's Reading Program that serves thousands of children in Glendale, special literacy programs, author programs, and more. Our mission is to support and promote the Glendale Public Library as a vital civic resource. We had 22 board members, but last week our esteemed board member Joyce Morrissey passed away. During board meetings and in discussions with her, I truly appreciated her clear insight and strategic thinking. So she was dedicated to many causes that benefit women and girls and to the mission of our organization. So we're going to be continuing the work that was so important to her. Some of the events that we have organized recently in September, we were able to bring the 2016 Pulitzer Prize winner for fiction to the library. Viet Nguyen spoke about how he came to write his book, The Sympathizer, which I've read, and it's an excellent book. He spoke about the importance of libraries and literature and literary inspiration in his work. In October, we worked with Glendale Arts and other partners to bring the pop-up literary festival to Glendale. It was Glendale's first annual literary festival. And we, the Friends, hosted one of the 4 programs. Ours featured 5 local women poets and artists, and they were from diverse backgrounds. The presentation was a multilingual and multicultural reading. They're talking about their personal experiences in our society. It was a very meaningful program, and we just had a wrap-up meeting today with Glendale Arts, and we hope to do the same kind of program next year, so please stay tuned, and if you know anyone who wants to get involved, put them in touch with Glendale Arts or with us. Last weekend, we hosted author and entrepreneur Craig Carlson, who talked about how he established the first American breakfast diner in Paris. This was really fun. His business is called Breakfast in America, and you can get eggs, bacon, and pancakes in Paris all day. He has a great story to tell, and his book is Pancakes in Paris, and IHOP donated 4 gift certificates for pancakes, which we were able to give away in a free raffle at this event. Our next event features a woman business owner. She is a celebrity chef and owns Lincoln Restaurant in Pasadena, which is on Jonathan Gold's 101 list, and she just opened a cafe in Montrose, C'est La Vie. She has a book called Little Flower Baking, and she is going to be doing for us a cooking demonstration. And for this, we are working with Perch, which is the kitchen bath showroom in downtown Glendale, because they have a big kitchen. Space is very limited. The reservations are free, but we do need reservations for this event. So check our website or Facebook page, Friends of Glendale Public Library, for details. So that's the fun event news. Behind the scenes, our book sales committee is working to get our new bookstore back in order so that we can begin accepting book donations again. Donated book sales provide about half of our revenue, which is sharply down because we had to close our main sales location at Central Library. So also behind the scenes, our membership committee is working, and our entire board are working to recruit more friends. Joining our organization is not expensive. You can be a friend for $20 a year, $10 a year if you're a senior or a student. And you can also join at a higher level if you want. We're grateful. But what we need primarily are large numbers of friends that renew year after year to show strong community support for the library as a vital civic resource. I want to thank Chair Linda Burns, who's also a member of our board, who is actively recruiting more friends at this time. And I brought some membership forms, which I'm happy to give to everyone here, and also a flyer advertising how we're trying to restart our book sales program. So thank you, commissioners, for the work you're doing in the community, and we're your partners as we support the library in offering free resources and information to all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. A thought occurred to me as you were speaking about cooking. If I'm not mistaken, the Civic Auditorium has 2 master kitchens, do they not?
Well, we didn't actually investigate that, and we'll have to do that maybe next time. I didn't know about that. Okay.
I actually think that there's, don't you think?
Downstairs and upstairs, there's 2 kitchens, yeah.
I will pass that information along, so if we do another program like this, and if it offers more space, we can do so, but...
It offers a whole lot more space.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And I think that the cooking ability is complete, is it not?
Yes. No, it's complete.
Thank you very much.
I have a question, Chair Burns.
Surely.
Thank you for the presentation. Very interesting, very dynamic works you do. I had a question about the parameters of the book donations you want. Is like, or do they need to be contemporary to a certain extent, or what are you looking for and what are you not looking for?
Well, we're basically looking for, and you can use your judgment, high-quality books that we can sell either online or in our bookstore. Old collections of, say, Reader's Digest condensed books or encyclopedias we typically can't sell. Old dictionaries we sometimes can. Old textbooks we sometimes can. It just depends. And obviously the better condition the book is in, the better we can sell it. Sometimes rare old textbooks go for a lot of money. A few years ago, we had someone donate their entire collection of cat books, and we still sell those online for a lot of money. Occasionally, we'll sell a book for $200. So basically, books that are in good condition that you think someone else would be interested in reading.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I have a question about the Friends of Glendale, like becoming a friend.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to pitch this to my book club at Hoover High School, what would I tell them? Like, what would becoming a friend and donating $10 or $20 entail?
Well, basically, you just become a member of the Friends and you join our organization and join our support group. At this point, we don't have any special necessarily perks, although your name will get added to our list as a supporter of the library, and you will be notified. You'll get print newsletters. You can get online newsletters of our upcoming events, which, as you heard, are interesting, and we love to have as many people come as possible.
Thank you.
Sure. And also, once you join the Friends, if you want to get more involved and students want to get more involved, we'd love to have volunteers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to address the commission? Seeing no other speakers, this item is closed. Next item on the agenda, please.
At 4 is consent items, and at A is approval of the minutes of the regular commission meeting held on August 8th, 2016.
Would one of the commissioners please provide a motion?
I second it.
Roll call, please.
Vice Chair Kwajayan?
Yes.
Commissioner Lambalot?
Yes.
Commissioner Magrin?
Yes.
Commissioner Perrion?
Yes.
Chair Burns?
Yes.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, please.
At 5, business agenda A, action items. 1 is selection of commission officers. At A is a motion to select the chair for the term of November 2016 to November 2017. At B is a motion to select vice chair for the term of November 2016 to November 2017.
Ms. Powers, would you please provide us with an overview of the procedures for selecting officers?
Gladly. Sure, it's that time of year for the commission to select a chair and vice chair for a one-year term that'll go through November 2017. The chair may open the floor for nominations for position of the chair, and once all nominations are received from commissioners, the chair will close the floor to nominations. There are no seconds required for nominations. And in order to be selected as chair, a minimum of 3 affirmative votes is required. Once the chair is selected, the process will be repeated for vice chair, and then the new officers will take their seats once the item is over, and then we'll continue with the chair and the vice chair. Any questions?
Anybody else? Well, the nominations are now open for the position of chair.
Chair Burns, I'd like to nominate Commissioner Lambelat for the chair position for the upcoming year.
Are there any further nominations? I request a vote, please.
Vice Chair Kojayan?
Yes.
Commissioner Lambelat?
Yes.
Commissioner Magrin?
Yes.
Commissioner Perrion?
Yes.
Chair Burns?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And now for vice chair.
The nominations are now open for the position of vice chair.
I would like to nominate Commissioner Perrion for the position of vice chair.
Roll call, please. Oh, I'm so sorry. Are there any more nominations?
Any more nomination?
Pardon me? We close the nominations.
Vice Chair Kojayan?
Yes.
Commissioner Lambelat?
Yes.
Magrin?
Yes.
Perrion?
Yes.
Chair Burns?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'm going to come and switch the nameplates, and
Okay.
I'm going to do a little bit of musical chairs, if you can bear with me, please.
Thank you, Ms. Powers.
We can actually just delay that to the next meeting. You don't physically have to move. If you're comfortable being where you're seated, we can continue with the meeting without doing that.
Okay.
I believe we did that last November. It was much easier
Yeah.
than hopping around.
But we would transition the balance of the meeting to now Chair Lambelat.
Absolutely.
You want to move?
No, no need to move. But
Unless
thank you.
you'd like to, but no need.
Ms. Dave.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the confidence and the nomination and the votes, and I'm honored. And I've become very fond of the commission, and I'm looking forward to the next upcoming term, and hopefully we can accomplish a lot together. It's a wonderful group of women. And welcome again to the student ex officios.
And I'd like to add to that, thank you for the commission for selecting me as vice chair, and I'd like to extend a special thank you to Chair Linda Burns for the past year and the service you did for the commission. It has been an honor serving, and I hope to continue that in the upcoming year. And welcome to the new two ex officios.
Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Together we can work and we go forward.
Yes. So, Ms. Powers, I need to ask you for the next item on the agenda.
Gladly. At 2 is consideration and discussion of the partnership with Sir Optimist International of Glendale for a human trafficking awareness event, and at A is a motion providing direction regarding this event. Would you care for a brief report?
Yes, please.
So Sir Optimist International of Glendale is a local nonprofit of women who work towards helping women and girls, would like to partner with the Commission on the Status of Women for a human trafficking awareness event that they are organizing. The event is a screening of a film called Sold, and they would like to do this on International Human Trafficking Awareness Day, which is January 11th. It's a narrative feature film adaptation of a globally acclaimed novel. And the director and the executive producer of this film, both of them are Academy and Emmy Award winners. So it's a film that's based on true stories, and it follows the story of a young girl who goes from a rural village in Nepal to a brothel prison in India. The film illustrates the brutality of child trafficking, which affects millions of children a year worldwide. As far as the logistics go, Sir Optimist is not looking to charge an admission fee for this film, but would rather encourage everyone to provide donations as they see fit and the amount they see fit. The donations would go to the film's Taught Not Trafficked Fund, or the donations can go to CAST, which is a coalition to abolish slavery and trafficking, and they've actually made a presentation to you. They're based out of Los Angeles, and they've come before the commission and spoken. The commission can partner with Sir Optimist on this event by providing in-kind donations. These would be graphic design printing, promotion and outreach, like press releases, social media advertising, etc., that staff can coordinate, hanging of a banner to advertise the event if that is needed, and also any sort of facility requests. This commission can also consider supporting this event with a monetary contribution, which would go towards the costs of the events, and those are laid out for you in the fiscal impact section of the report. The amount suggested in the report can be increased or decreased depending on the commission's discretion. One thing for your consideration, in speaking with the Sir Optimist Chair, Carol Ann Burton, Sir Optimist had really wanted to have this event on the actual International Day of Human Trafficking, which is January 11th. And one of the ideas that staff suggested on this end was to, instead of having this event at Glendale Community College, which the big chunk of the cost involved is renting that auditorium, that if we were to use a city facility, seeing as to how the city would be involved through the commission, that this would be a great financial benefit to this event. January 11 was not available for Brand Recital Hall is really the best place at this time, given that Central Library is under construction. Very convenient parking. The facility is just the right size. I think it's well known to most people, so it'd be easy enough for people to get to. I think easier than Glendale Community College. So January 11 wasn't available, and after a little bit of a back and forth, it seems like Sir Optimist is open to changing the date. So at this point, we're going to work with the staff at Brand Library, and there's a few dates that we're looking at, but this would greatly change the financial need for this, and possibly the in-kind donations would be enough at this point for the commission to carry. So just something for you to consider. It all just happened this afternoon, so apologize for the late breaking news. That concludes my report, if there's any questions.
As we know, the Sir Optimist International in Glendale, it's a women organization, and they work to benefit women's rights and empowerment. I think I consider contribution of $500 to any kind of support mentioned as in the report, too.
I have a question as well. Ms. Powers, would the commission's name be placed on the banners and other material?
Yes.
Chair Lambelat, at this time there is a banner that exists, and we would hate to have Sir Optimist go and make a new banner, so one suggestion was that if we could find some nice white space and put the City of Glendale and Commission's name on that banner, that would be much more financially, effective. And that's definitely a possibility. Waiting to see what the banner looks like and get the specs of the banner, but that's certainly doable. And any sort of media outreach would be coordinated through city office. So it would definitely, the commission's name would be there front and center.
I have a question, Christine. Are we going to participate in the city will participate in flyers or that, printings?
Absolutely, yes. Commissioner Kojayan, one of the in-kind donations that would be the services of our graphics designers. Any printing costs, and coordinate sending this out electronically, and certainly over the various social media outlets that the city has.
Thank you.
Commissioner Lambelat, Chair.
Yes, I had a further question to the extent that I was
asking you whether I could speak.
Oh, excuse me. I had a momentary lapse. Yes.
It's all right. You go ahead.
Yes, now. Commissioner Burns. Go ahead.
I missed missed where you said you thought we might be able to have this.
Facility.
Brand
What facility?
Brand Libraries Recital Hall.
That little itsy bitsy room?
Is it? It holds over 100 people. It's the
one where you go and listen to people wanting to be elected, right?
I wasn't aware of that, but I imagine
There is a
that's-
room up the
that's a room.
stairs, and it's right up there.
Yes,
So it's about 100. Yeah.
it's about 100 people.
And they feel that that would be adequate as far as size goes.
They believe so, given that this is the first year. It would be a good gauge as well.
That would be fabulous.
I think it will be enough because every year we have that trafficking program and they show the film. It's in Oakmont Country Club and it's in that small side. I think it's enough.
Do you?
Yeah.
The commission can also give direction that if you feel you want to hold this at Glendale Community College and do it in that larger auditorium, that's certainly something for consideration. This was a cost incentive and ease of parking incentive.
Any other comments or questions?
Sorry, Chair Lemble. May I speak?
Yes, please.
What have we decided to do? Go with the brand? And that makes sense to me because the financial expense of the college and getting into the college is a bear. I would say if we were looking for 300 or 400 or 500 people, we would go to the Civic. We should start using the Civic when we can. But if it would save a tremendous amount of money for Seroptimist, and would we still need to make the $500 donation?
Commissioner Burns, members of the commission, that is completely at your discretion. Given the cost of the video, it's $850 to acquire, but you can also weigh the potential savings that you are providing to Seroptimist by providing a facility, by providing graphics, advertising, coordinating. There's significant savings that the commission is providing to Seroptimist of in-kind donations that is saving them a lot of money. So,
Seroptimists are fabulous.
Yes.
Fabulous group. I have no problem with offering, let me see, alternative one, considering a not to exceed $500. That would be $500 plus in kind, as far as I would be concerned.
Thank you, Commissioner Burns. I had a comment and a question. First of all, in the interest of full disclosure, Commissioner Kojayan and I are both members of Seroptimist International of Glendale. So just wanted to make sure everybody knew that. Secondly, as far as the in-kind support, it sounds like it would require staff time. And is there adequate staff time? Because I know that's a concern overall.
it should be fine. This is a fairly straightforward event. The press releases, all the advertising, graphics, staff can absorb the.
Okay. And I'm with Commissioner Burns. I know we need to make a motion, but I think $500 is a minimal amount, given, first of all, the subject matter of the event and that we would get, some recognition and exposure to the fact that the commission is helping and, that we exist. Anybody have any other questions?
Would you like a motion?
Yes, please.
May I apologize. May I just ask a clarifying question? Would you like to give $500 or would you like to share the cost, split the cost of the DVD video acquisition, which is a little less, half of it would be less than 500. Just wanted to clarify. Give the full 500 or split it?
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the difference is de minimis, so I think $500.
I think it's 500. It's
good number.
Good number, yeah.
Yes.
We need a motion?
I move that the commission consider supporting or actually supporting the event by making a contribution not to exceed $500 in actual cash and also provide in-kind support as mentioned in the report.
I second.
Thank you. I'll
And
take,
that is alternative 1, correct?
Correct. Alternative 1.
That's what I mentioned earlier.
all right, Commissioner Burns,
Yes.
Commissioner Kojayan,
Yes.
Commissioner Magrin,
Yes.
Vice Chair Perrion,
Yes.
Chair Lambolat.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
At 3 is an update regarding the ad hoc committees to support the 2015-18 Commission on the Status of Women Strategic Plan. At A is a motion providing direction on the ad hoc committees, and at B is a motion to add student ex officios to the ad hoc committees. Would you like a brief update, Chair Lambolat?
Yes, please.
At the last meeting of the Commission, 2 ad hoc committees were discontinued. That would be the one on the report on the status of women and girls, as well as finance, and a new ad hoc committee was created to explore community partners to take on Camp Rosie type activities. This item is being brought back for further review and to provide the new student ex officios the opportunity to join any ad hoc committees that they might be interested in. So to recap, ad hoc committee 1 on education and outreach consists of Commissioners Kojayan and Magrin, and that provides the community with relevant information that pertains to women and girls. This ad hoc committee helps identify speakers for the 2017 calendar of meeting and to work on developing a new system of recognizing women in the community. Ad hoc committee 2, community partnerships, consists of Commissioner Burns and Vice Chair Perrion, and this works on building alliances and collaborating with the community regarding the status and well-being of women and girls in Glendale, review existing partnerships, and work on new partnerships to further the goals and mission of the CSW, and identify state and county resources and services for women and girls in Glendale. Ad hoc Committee 3, Programming for Girls. This consists of Commissioner Burns and Chair Lambolat, and this was the new one created at the last meeting that would work with local agencies that may be able to carry on Camp Rosie and or Camp Rosie type programs and events that benefit girls in the Glendale community. And that concludes our report.
Thank you, Ms. Powers. Any comments, questions?
Sorry, I have a question, Chair. In order to join one of these ad hoc committees, would I be able to do one at my leisure? And I guess leisure is a relative term, maybe like by the end of the week, so that I could talk to the individual commissioners and find out which ad hoc committee really needs our help, or which one may be well staffed already. Or
What would you be interested in?
I would, honestly, looking at all of them, I'd be interested in all of them, but I understand that there's not that many hours in the day. Would it be possible for me to, is it necessary that I say as of right now, which?
The items introduced today so that we can make the selection today. If you needed additional time, then the appointment would have to occur at the next meeting, which would be 3 months from now. So the idea is that you take the time to consider it while the discussion is occurring at the meeting now.
Okay, I can do that. Thank you.
And I'd just like to say that we're looking forward to having Vivica and Lena on these ad hoc committees. We think we'll infuse new energy in them. And, going forward, we can also, the next meeting, choose additional ad hoc committees. These are dynamic committees. We can, as the ideas come up, interests come up, events happen, we can nominate and vote on new ad hoc committees at the next meeting, for instance. So at this time, would anybody like to change their standing on an ad hoc committee, offer a new one, an idea for a new one?
I'm okay with mine.
Okay. Lena, do you have any ideas what you'd like to serve on?
I am pretty much extremely interested in Ad hoc Committee 1, Education and Outreach.
Thank you.
Would I be able to serve on Education and Outreach with Lena and on Programming for Girls? Would that be possible?
Is that all right?
Yeah,
That'd be possible?
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you.
Chair Lambolat, these were discussed at length in September. Was it August?
Yeah. Do we currently have an ad hoc committee for the the item on the agenda, the reception, B2? Is that a separate ad hoc committee at this point?
That is, staff kept that as a separate item, but that is certainly one of them is working on the reception.
Okay.
I think it was Eileen on that committee.
Yes, Commissioner Magrin and Perry.
Yeah.
It wasn't considered an ad hoc committee.
Yeah.
It was considered a
What?
do the reception.
A to-do item.
To-do item. Yes? Yes.
I'm sorry, if I may be added to the Community Partnerships Ad hoc Committee as well.
You want to think about these, because once you've added, we're going to have you running around in a circle. You might want to only think about one right now.
Okay.
Just a thought. There's a lot of work to be done. You add yourself to one more, and it does become a little bit, sometimes too much with your schooling.
No, I think I'll stick to the two committees. I think it'll be fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would like to make a comment that both student ex officios during the interview process made a point of telling us how good they were at time management.
Not like us. Eh? Okay.
Any other changes, comments, questions? Okay, would somebody make a motion then to, should we do it in two steps to add the, no? Okay.
Would that be alternative 4, then alternative 3?
Yes, Commissioner Burns, that would be alternative 4, and the motion could just reflect the students' ad hoc committee interests as they noted.
And then alternative 4 would be that we would leave the ad hoc committees as is, with the exception of adding the student ex officios.
Yes.
Yes.
The only motion we would make would be to add the student ex officios, and that would leave the ad hoc committees alone.
I've made that motion. Oh, second.
I seconded.
Take a roll call vote. Commissioner Burns?
Yes.
Pajayan?
Yes.
Magrin?
Yes.
Arian?
Yes.
Chair Lamboa?
Yes. Next item on the agenda, please.
At B under reports, information only, 1 is a legislative update. And this report provides the Commission with a quarterly legislative update of the bills being tracked based on the Commission's adopted legislative platform. Legislator had until the end of August to pass any bills out of both houses and onto the governor's desk, and then the governor had until September 30th to sign bills into law or to veto them. Of all the bills in the Commission's platform, half of them died before getting to the governor's desk, and a third of them were vetoed by the governor, who indicated that he would veto anything having to do with any sort of tax breaks, any sort of tax decreases, and certainly the tax relief for the diapers and the feminine hygiene products fell into that category, unfortunately. So the governor enthusiastically vetoed those. And just one of the bills, which was the Women's History Month, that one did go through. So that concludes the report.
Any questions or comments? Thank you, Ms. Powers. The next item on the agenda, please.
Correct. 2 is an update on the reception for the Commission on the Status of Women's 2015-16 report on the status of women and girls.
Commissioner Perrion, is this you?
Thank you. I believe we have extended that or postponed that to sometime in January because of other conflicts and events going on. I'm sorry, I do not remember the exact date where we pushed it to, or we didn't land on a date. Okay. So that's where we're at right now.
January what? Is there a
specific date?
We don't have a
No date. No date selected yet.
And especially since we're working on the Seroptimist event, too.
I see.
A little bit of
Okay.
coordination will be involved with that.
Right. Terrific. And the plan is to have it in the City Hall lobby, correct?
Yes. Correct. Everything as far as the plan still stays the same, just between the holidays and trying to secure a keynote speaker, there's a lot of conflicts.
Great, understood. Thank you.
And at 3 is an update, ACCW update, and that would be an oral report provided by Vice Chair Perrion, who attended the meeting on behalf of the Commission.
Thank you. I called in on October 24th and listened in, and the important update I'd like to provide is that the committee discussed adding "and girls" to the title of the commission, so it would be ACCW Women and Girls, noting that a lot of cities throughout California have already transitioned to that title. And when they went around the room for votes, I did vote yes. So on behalf of the city of Glendale, I did vote yes to add girls. I'm not sure if our title includes that, but I do believe I've seen it on the mission of our commission. So, FYI. And it was a pretty lengthy conference call with other reports and discussions, and we really didn't get around to doing a round robin, where I did want to state that we were going to be bringing on new ex officios, or even on the status of women report for Glendale. And that concludes my report.
Okay. Thank you, Vice Chair Perrion. Any other comments or questions?
May I ask if the addition of girls into the titles was, I don't know how do you say it, if it was added? Yeah.
The decision was to go ahead and add it, but there's a lot of logistics and strategic steps that they have to think of, and they have to consider how it's going to impact the overall organization, and how, if they need to update their mission, etc.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Thank you. Next item on the agenda.
At 6, Commissioner and staff comments.
Anybody have any comments? Yes, please.
Okay. I would like to take this opportunity and express my deepest appreciations and thanks for sharing with us our big loss, my youngest brother, Rej Mardian, and sorrow. Thank you each and everyone who share with us by sending us cards or emails or attending the funeral services. Thank you, and God bless you all. I would like, and I wish all of you happy, healthy, and successful year. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you.
Thank you, Commissioner Kojayan. Very gracious. Anyone else? I have a couple of comments. First, I just wanted to state that I am no longer treasurer at ACCW. I had a work conflict, so I needed to step down. I believe Suzanne Doty is now treasurer, but I'm mentioning that just because we had mentioned at the last meeting that I was treasurer. Secondly, I wanted to show the rest of the commission that we received a certificate from Seroptimus of Glendale. Ms. Powers and I and Commissioner Vice Chair Perrion was at the Seroptimus meeting on September 22nd, and we presented to the Seroptimus group and any guests the commission, the report on the status of women and girls that the commission commissioned earlier this year. And it was very well received, and everybody there got a copy of it. And they provided us with the certificate. And I'd like to thank Ms. Powers for presenting as well. And finally, I wanted to just congratulate Chair Burns on her selection, again by Seroptimus, to be a judge for the Seroptimus of Glendale Live Your Dream Awards. And those are awards that are, they're monetary awards given to women every year who provide the sole or primary financial support for their families. And the goal of the grant is to give them resources to help them improve their education skills and employment prospects. So it's quite an honor to be asked to be a judge and decide who are the recipients of those grants. Congratulations, Commissioner Burns. Anything else? Any other questions or comments? So the next item on the agenda is adjournment.
Yes.
We need a motion for that.
Please.
I move to adjourn.
I second.
We're adjourned at
Meeting is adjourned at 6:20.